So we left off on number 13, where we were doing 16 here. So remember, 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which gives you 16. And then we're going to do 4 times 2, which is 8. B to the third power is 3 times 2, which is 6 inches squared. So remember, you got to put your inches on your number. So we have write each expression using a negative exponent. Negative exponent. So we know that we need to take the reciprocal of a number. And the reciprocal is flipping your numerator and your denominator, changing the order. So 1 over 8, its reciprocal is 8 over 1, which is just 8. And then to the negative second power. Here we could easily do a 1, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to take the easy road. 1 over 100 becomes 10 to the second power because 10 times 10 gives us 100. Now take the reciprocal 1 over 10, which is just 10, and then to the negative second power. And that's all you do for those two. That's it. All right, so number 16. 4 to the negative second power, we're writing each expression using a positive exponent. A positive exponent. So the reciprocal of 4 is 1 over 4. And then I'm just going to take this to the second power. 1 to the second power is just 1. 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which is 16. 1 over 16. And remember to evaluate. That's that last part, evaluate. Don't just leave it as an exponent. So with these, we can use our calculator or our cube root sheet. And so we're going to do 81 square root, and we get 9. Here, the negative is on the outside, so we have to do that after we hit the square root. 0.64 square root, hit the negative. It's negative 0.8. Negative 0.8. So here you're going to do the numerator and then the denominator in your calculator on your cube root sheet. So 16 square root is 4, because 4 times 4 gives us 16. And 49 square root is 7, because 7 times 7 gives us 49, 4 over 7. Now let's do this one. 64, it says negative square root. Oh, there's an error. That's what that little E means, error. Means there's no real square root, because a negative times a negative will always give you a positive. This will work because the negative was on the outside, meaning after the operation. All right, so 21 and 22, solve each equation. Check your solution. The opposite of square is square root. So I'm going to take the square of both sides, the square roots of both sides, because it's already square. And the square root of b squared is just b. It's just a b. And here, the square root of 576 is going to be, I can look at my cube root sheet, or I can put it in here. 576, right? It's 24. 24. So it's positive or negative 24. So let's check that answer. I'm going to excuse the announcements.
We need the CNG staff person in charge of afternoon checkout to the main office. The CNG staff person in charge of checkout to the main office. Thank you. You have parents waiting.
All right, so we have b squared, which is 24. We're going to replace that to check to make sure it's really 576, because that square root button can break. That's what the kids think anyway. 24 times 24, it does give us 576. 576 is equal to 576. That means our answer is right, because we got some equal. Here we have v to the third power equals 1331 divided by 2197. We need to take the opposite of a cube, or to the third power, which is cube root. You see the little 3 in the roots? That means we can't use the one on our calculator because it doesn't have a 3. We got to use page 22 in our interactive notebooks or our cube root sheets. Thank goodness I have a cube root sheets here. So I'm going to take the cube root of both of these. It says on my cube root sheet, the cube root of 1331 is 11. And the cube root of 2197 is 13. So 11 over 13. We don't have to put the negative positive for here because if it was a negative for cube root, they will give you a negative to start off with. So let's check that. So V equals, we're writing our problem down. So we're going to put 11, and that's going to be to the third power. So that means 11, 13. It's going to be written out just like this. So really, I'm going to go to my calculator and type 11 times 11 times 11 3 times. I got 1331. So that's right. That's what we need. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do 13. I got 2197. So I was right. My answer was right. Thank goodness. But we have to check to make sure our answer is right. All right, so it says a square mosaic has 144 pieces of glass. 144 glass squared. Opposite of square is square root, just what we just did. And so the square root of 144, what number times itself will give you 144? 12. So G is equal to 12. There are 12 pieces of glass along the edge. So make sure you write your sentence. We'll go to our cube root sheet. What will give us negative 27? Well, negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 gives you negative 27. So negative 3 is there. Let's go to number 25. Remember, you can rewind if I'm going too fast for you or pause. So what will give us negative 125? Well, negative 5. I actually have this on my window as a positive 5. So this one is a negative 5. Let's go down here to 27 because y'all have a lot of problems with 27. It says write an equation using this, and they tell you that the volume is 8,000. So where I have the V, I'm going to replace that with 8,000. And that's the answer for A. That is writing an equation. It has an equal sign and an operation. Now we just need to solve. So we're going to take the cube roots. So you got to put your little 3 there on both sides. Go to my cube root sheet. 8,000 looks like it's what? 20? 20. So the length of the crate is 20 inches. The length of the crate, because that's what they asked us for, is 20 inches. So you should have got that. All right, so I'm not going to write all these out. 1/5 is rational because it is a fraction. And you have to write that because it's a fraction. It's a fraction. And I would advise you to write it under A. I'm just kind of writing it above. Rational because it's a terminating decimal. It's on page 6 in your interactive notebook. Rational because it's a repeating decimal. Repeating decimals are rational because we know what is next. And this is square root of 16, which will give you 4. That's a whole number, so it's definitely rational. It's a whole number. The only one that is irrational is square root of 19, and I'm running out of time. It is a long decimal that does not repeat nor terminate. It is not repeat nor terminate, and I'll come back in the next video and help you out with that.